What is going on, guys? DBG here, and as I promised on my video on Friday, if that hit 500 likes, I would upload the most overpowered players for under 10k MT, and that's what I'm doing right now. If this video hits 300 likes, I will do a part 2 next week. This is the most overpowered players I've used for under 10k MT. Obviously, there are a lot of overpowered players, especially around that 5k to 10k MT range. But yeah, while a lot of you guys mightn't have success with these guys, these are just players that I found to be the best. And I feel they play way better than their overalls. So while I tried to keep this card between 5 and 10k, this card was around 10k a week ago, and then 2K decided to give it out free as a locker code. I'm not sure if that locker code still works. You can try it out if you want, but I doubt it does. But anyway, you can pick up this card for 2000 MT. 2000 MT for Paul George. 6'9" small forward, meaning that you can play him at the 4, you can play him at the 3, you can play him at the 2, and heck, you can probably even play him at the 1 a little bit. Deep range, dead eye, tire to score. They are bronze, but they're 2 good badges to have. Really good stats. 84 driving layup, not the worst, not the best. Open shot mid range, 86, really good. Open shot 3, 88, extremely good. 80 free throw, decent enough passing. 64 defensive rebound, which is actually a lot better in game. He can get a lot more rebounds than his rating would suggest. 84 lateral quickness and 84 on-ball defensive IQ, meaning he's going to be a really good defender. 77 driving dunk is a lie because he seems to dunk so much better than that. Not great speed, but 84 speed with ball, 80 acceleration, it helps. And again, he feels fast, so even though he does have a low speed rating, that wouldn't really put me off him. But I'll explain with the highlights. While this card stats-wise is decent, but it seems like an 86 overall, I'll explain the highlights and looking at its hot zones and its shooting form, why this card is overpowered. Maybe it's just me, but I think Paul George actually has the best shot form probably in 2K. His 86 overall gold card was in my squad for the entire year over diamonds because of how good it was and how good his shot release is. Pretty much, no matter what version of Paul George you use, he's going to hit shots, and this one has an 88-3, so he's going to hit an awful lot of them. I green release so many shots with Paul George, especially when he's open, nearly everything's a green release. Where it's mid-range 3, this card's stats are really good. 88 open shot 3 with a really nice release means that it's going in so often. His dunk animations aren't the worst, even though he does bring it back behind his head a lot. I haven't seen him get blocked from behind yet. Maybe that's just me and he will a lot if I'm using them otherwise. But so far they've actually been okay. He does seem to dunk a lot more than his rating would suggest as well. Paul George can do everything. He can shoot, he can be a lockdown defender, he can use a point guard, he can pass, he can rebound decent enough, he can use the stretch 4. He's way faster than his rating would suggest, and this card is just incredibly versatile. Definitely going to have a spot in my team for a long time unless I can pick up a better Paul George, to be honest. But it does everything. There's nothing that this card does bad, and some of the stuff that it does well, it does extremely well. It's a great shooter, great playmaker, great defender, just great at everything. Next up, we have got Penny Hardaway, who's about 6,500, 7,000 MT, depending on when you're getting him. But this card is an emerald, so you're thinking maybe this card isn't great. 85 offense, 82 defense, 1-man fast break is the only badge it comes with. Stats wise, good, but nothing spectacular. Driving layup 88 is decent. Open shot 3 of 80, open shot mid range 78, 76 free throw, 78 on ball defense. Again, not the worst, not the best. Driving dunk 86, again there's players with a lot higher driving dunks. Speed 84, players taller and faster. Speed with ball 90, again same with that. But I don't know why. Stats wise this card is nothing special, but this card just plays so well in game, and anyone who's used them will agree with it. Penny's release is a little bit weird, to be honest, but you get used to it and you get an awful lot of greens, especially when he's open. Dunk animations are so good. He seems to speed up when he dunks, which most players slow down, but Penny seems to speed up by a lot. Jump shot is good. If he's left open, he's going to hit it. 80 open shot 3, while not the best, he just can't be left open. Release, again, as I said, you get used to it, it looks a bit weird, but he is an athletic freak. And because of his dunk animations, how good he actually is at dunking, not judging by his stats, he is incredible. I'm really annoyed that in this game I used him. I didn't have any other ones recorded because he did not do much. So I actually managed to get a foul corrupted on a game he scored 35 points in, but this should be okay. Going to the basket, this card is so good. It actually shoots well from mid-range. It gets hacked an awful lot, draws a lot of fouls, and with a nice release and a decent free throw, that's okay. But again, If it's left open, it's going to hit shots, and that's really all I was doing because I was playing against offline against a really good defensive team, but online this card is just an athletic freak and will get so many dunks. And this is a card that is growing on me. It is Ruby Chris Webber. To be honest, I think that there's another Ruby card in that collection, maybe a little bit better, but I decided to go Chris Webber because this is the card that most people have had a lot of success with. Maybe it's because of those 17 gold badges. Yes, you heard me right, 17, and it's 7.5k. To get a gold hustle rebounder probably costs more than that. To get a gold posterizer costs more than that, and to get a gold difficult shots or tire score definitely costs more than it costs for Chris Webber. 6'9", meaning it's a little bit small for the power forward, but again, not the worst. Post fadeaway 88 is actually really good. Post hook 85, I didn't get a post hook with him, but usually for smaller power forwards or centers, post hook really isn't that effective because they're going to get blocked a lot. Open shot mid range 78, not the worst, not the best, but he does have a lot of hot zones. 81 open shot 3. Some people love his release and can hit shots with him. I can't at all, so he struggles. Offensive rebound 85, defensive 88, really good. 80 block, which is exceptional. Even though it is only 80, he blocks a ton of shots. 82 on ball defense, meaning that you can play him at the 3. You could definitely play this card at the 3 and it would do a job. 85 standing dunk, 84 driving dunk. 78 speed, which is really good again for power forward. 52 speed with ball, not good, but again, and it's not that bad for power forward. 70 acceleration, which is solid enough, and 85 vertical. So yeah, this card, I hated it for so long, but it's starting to grow on me. And you'll see in the highlights that this card can be an extremely good scorer. So Webber has hot zones pretty much everywhere inside the 3-point line. Outside the 3, it's got none. It's got a really kind of weird release. It's a little bit of a slow release, and it kind of stops above his head a little bit, but yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of his release, and I do struggle to hit shots. Surprisingly, in the game, I actually do hit a lot of shots with him in the highlights, but they were just once-off games. But in general, Chris Webber is a solid defender, but is without doubt one of the best scoring power forwards I've used. I used to neglect that position until I used Chris Webber. Chris Webber is the first power forward that I've actually used and used well in the game. So straight away, Webber hits a 3, something I said he doesn't do much, but yeah, maybe I'm wrong. He's really good setting screens because he can roll and dunk with ease, and he can also pop and shoot mid-range and 3. He can shoot from pretty much anywhere. Around the basket, there's not that many better players, and that 78 speed means he runs the floor so well. Even though he can't really dribble and go coast to coast, he'll still outrun the majority of power forwards and will beat them down the floor. He actually passes very well for power forward. Standing dunk is really effective, but fast breaks is where he excels. I think he's just a better offensive and worse defensive version of Josh Smith. Personal preference, but I prefer Webber. So anyway, that's the video. These are just 3 extremely OP players that are under 10k MT. Obviously, Paul George is about 2k or free, depending on if that locker code is still going or not. But yeah, these cards I've found so much success with online and offline, in the challenges and in the Ruby League, where you can play against teams in the Pink Diamond League. I found a lot of success. I use a lot of budget squads, and these guys can definitely compete with the God squads. They're not going to beat them, but they can definitely compete. So anyway, as I said at the start, 300 likes and I will do a part 2 of this next week. And as always, thanks for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe.
With all the things that's going on, I lost track, I felt so strong.